let you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues. We are the old dark navy blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
Oh, good. When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that once we shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It is all part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come together this afternoon to remember Athol John Harman, Tiny as he was known to everyone, a man who loved to stay active, who had a passion for the mighty Carlton Football Club, a man who worked hard to support his family and his community. On behalf of Tiny's children, Craig, Wendy, Julie, Jan deceased, Glenn deceased, and their families, I welcome you and thank you for being here with them today to celebrate his life and to say goodbye to him in a meaningful and loving way. After this service, the family warmly invite you to join them at the Wynyard Bowls Club for refreshments and to share your memories of Tiny and remember those good times. Tiny was the type of man that would not want to be the centre of attention, would want little fuss and few tears. But his death does unite us all. You are all here today because you have one thing in common. Your lives have been touched by the good fortune of having known Tiny. Today we stop the rush of life, pause for a while and reflect. This funeral service has many purposes. Of course it is for the reverent farewell of a husband, father, son, brother, pop and friend. But it also recognises the value of his life and confirms that his life has ended. It also helps those remaining to face the reality of his death. Although we feel sadness, it is important to remember the good times and know that grief is a natural emotion when we lose someone we love. And ultimately, remembering those good times will bring the smiles back again. Born in Wynyard on Australia Day in 1937, Tiny and his twin brother Jackie were the first of 10 children born to Lyle and Mavis Harman, who were farming in the Wynyard community prior to the outbreak of World War II. Times were tough, and outward affection was scarce, as the family worked hard through the war years, the subsequent depression, and a time of rationing. Tiny attended school in Wynyard until the age of 15, when he joined his father working on the farm and helping to provide for the family. Here, he developed a strong work ethic, an ethic that he never lost. Spending some time in the Army Reserve at the Brighton Barracks, Teeny married his first love, Mary, in 1960. They had met at a local dance, and after courting for a while, decided that their life was to be spent together. They bought a home in Quiggins Street in Wynyard, and soon after that home began to fill with children. Their oldest son, Craig, being born in 1961, Wendy in 62, Julie in 63, and Jan in 65. Around this time, they moved into a home in Saunders Street, and Glenn completed the family in 1966. Saunders Street was affectionately known as Harman Street, as many of the extended family lived in it and around it. Tiny's love for sport had already emerged, playing and coaching football with Yeoman, Wynyard and Yolla, cricket, basketball and squash with Wynyard, but these were put on hold while he worked hard to pay off the mortgage and ensure that his family wanted for nothing. Working at Clements and Marshall's in Burnie and later Wilson's Brothers, Tiny also spent his weekends share farming in Calder and on the fertile land around where the Northwest Hospital stands today. Once the family were financially stable, Tiny returned to his love of sports. While Craig and Glenn were playing mini-league, he assisted by coaching teams and umpiring. He also became a goal umpire for the Northwest Umpiring Association, officiating at the North NWFU matches. Working as the groundsman at Wynyard Primary School, he would encourage the kids to do the right thing, make good decisions, and to stay off the grass. As a long-time club stalwart, Tiny was awarded life membership of the Wynyard Cricket Club after being a left-handed defensive batsman who placed great value on his wicket, a right-handed spin bowler, and an excellent slips fielder. But his involvement didn't stop there. He spent many voluntary hours helping to build the club rooms, working behind the bar, and manicuring his prized pitch. The pitch was his pride and joy, and when the heavy roller arrived from Beaconsfield, he was excited, to say the very least. Tiny's passion for the Carlton Football Club is legendary. Seeing no less than 11 premierships in his lifetime, names such as Nichols, Collis, Jesselenko, Dool, Silvani, Kernahan and Ashman rolled into his conversation whenever anyone would listen. 3 flags in the 80s and then beating Geelong by 61 points in 1995 made Tiny a very happy man. On the rise last year and looking the goods this year, he goes to his grave knowing the next flag is just around the corner. And I'm sure he'll be barracking hard tonight. After Mary died in 1995, Tiny learnt to be independent, learning to cook and entertain, always mindful of the timing to ensure the meal was perfect when ready to dish. He had taken up bowls and enjoyed being with his teammates for the annual PK trip to Newcastle. Other trips to Darwin, Catherine and Tennant Creek with his brother Barry were also enjoyed immensely. Trips to Melbourne to watch the footy or to go to the trots were always a highlight for him. After some medical issues in 2016, Tiny became a resident of Umina Park, and after a slow start, he enjoyed his time there, looking out for others and helping wherever he could. Enjoying the social activities, bingo and happy hour, he said it how he saw it. Sometimes getting frustrated if things weren't moving at a pace he wanted. Sometimes a bit of a grumble bum, but always honest and always caring. Sometimes speaking with no filter, Tiny's comments could sound abrasive and flippant, but this was never intended. The family sincerely thank the staff at Umina Park for their care and compassion for Tiny. Some might call him stubborn, but Tiny was a product of his era. Stoic, finding it difficult to show emotion, he was a down-to-earth doer, never pretending to be anything he wasn't, just a genuine, all-round good bloke. May he now rest in peace, back in the arms of Mary. I'll take a moment now to share with you the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What would Tiny say if he was with us now? Maybe these words. When I have gone, cry for me a little. Think of me sometimes, but not too much. Think of me now and again as I was in life. At some moments it's pleasant to recall, but not for long. Leave me in peace. And while you live, let your thoughts be with the living. It is now time to lay a dearly loved husband, respected father, cherished pop, and loyal friend to rest back into the arms of Mary. Tiny, may your love be reflected in all who knew you, and may you continue to live on through the lives of those you leave behind. Your legacy is the beautiful family you created and the love you shared. And so, into the freedom of the wind and sunshine, we let you go. Into the dance of the moon and the planets, we let you go. Into the wind's breath and the hands of the star maker, we let you go. And into the sadness and smiles of our memories, we let you go. Go safely, go with love in your heart, and may you forever be at peace. Tiny, the many people whose lives you have touched will remember you with deep affection and warmth. The story of your life is ended, but the part you played in theirs continues to affect the people you cared about. May your love be reflected in your children's faces and the smile in your grandchildren's laughter. Now, in sorrow, but without fear, we commit the body of Athol John Harman, Tiny, to the elements and ultimately to Mother Earth, from which all life comes and to which in the end all life returns. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that life has meant to us, may we resolve that while we live, we will strive with all our might to make our living of real worth. We are glad that he lived. We are glad that he was part of our life. We cherish the memories we have of him, and we know he will never be forgotten. Tiny, your life we honour. Your departure we accept. Your memory we cherish. And although there is sadness, as we say goodbye, there is gratitude for your life. We are truly grateful for the privilege of having shared life with you. But rest now at the end of your days. Rest in the hearts and minds of all those who loved you. And so, with love, we shall leave you in peace. And in respect, we bid you a fond farewell. I invite you now to come forward to place your flowers and to say your quiet goodbyes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Please join the family at the Wynyard Bowls Club to celebrate Tiny's life.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and papa. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the lane I walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Then I awake and look around me at four gray walls that surround me, and I realize, yes, I was only dreaming. there's a God and there's a sad old portrait. On and on we'll walk at daybreak. Again I'll touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they'll all come to see me in the shade of that old oak tree as they lay me 'neath the green, green grass of home.
Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have, and maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. And maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. But you were always on my mind. You were always on